They're too fast.
Hey buddy, good boy.
Oh, they're so good. Here you go. All yours. Now remember to use the foot brake. Don't put your foot down. Use the brake. That's it. Good job. Yes, mate. I'm coming back. Where you going? No, he wants me to hang out with him. Come on, mate. Down here. Go, Evie, go.
Ready? Let's go.
Good job, Al. Good job.
Hello. Hello, darling. Hello. Hello. Hello, beautiful girl. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Good girl. They've got to be tight so they stay there. Because if you fall and you land on your knees and you drag along the ground, you don't want them too loose that they slide off and then you slide on your knee. That's why they've got to be tight grip onto where you're going to fall. Because when you fall, reminds me of like two hippos fighting. Rocco and Fredo. They just both open their mouth. Ah. Wait. Come on. What are you doing throwing sand, mate? What are you doing now? Hope's become really good at the frisbee.
Oh, awesome.
No.
Roscoe, cut it out. Good boy, mate.
Wow, yeah, look at her. She's real confident, isn't she? Look at her. She's even like it's mine.
Yeah.
Good girl, Hope. Well done. Oh, okay. Yeah, oh well. So how's Cruiser going?
Yeah, he's doing well. A lot more confident coming out of the room. He's a bit nervous being outside around staff though.
Staff, yeah, yep.
Yeah, he's been pretty good around here though. He's keen to go, he's keen to run with the dog.
Yep. Oh, hang on.
Go! Look at Freddie, still got it. Good boy, thank you boy. No one even knows where it is. Good boy, mate. Good boy. Good job. Well done. Good boy. Training scenario. Like he's starting to look up at me more and go, oh yeah, what are we doing? Yeah, okay. It's very few and far between, but it was non-existent before. And so now it's starting. So it's like, just starting to creep into, he's starting to feel that I'm a bit more consistent in his life now, you know what I mean? Whereas before he would still just take it all as, where am I? I'm in a strange place, what's going on? And then slowly it'll start to
It's like
sink
he wants
in.
to go to the toilet.
Slowly it'll start to sink in that it's, a bit more, that this is reality now, it's not a short term or, you know what I mean? Good boy. Good boy. Whee! Good job. Right, guys, let's go. He doesn't like going to the toilet near anyone. Good job, mate. You feel better? Good boy. Well done. Okay, come on. Have that. Good girl, darling. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Well done. Yeah, I've consolidated. More food sugar. Good boy, Cruiser. Good boy, mate. Hello, Hope. So unfortunately, with giving Cruiser some free time like this, it means that we have to tone the games down because he's. I don't want it to turn negative if he does something wrong. I want him to have a positive experience off lead with the dogs.
So can you just give everyone a picture of what's happening at the moment with Cruiser? So for instance, you can use Freddie's scenario as an example.
So Freddie's scenario, and then there was what we caught on camera the other day with Roscoe doing zoomies. Hey, buddy. Roscoe doing zoomies and Cruiser chasing, but then sort of half mouthing saying, I caught you. And then when Chopper was doing it, having a wrestle with his brother, he came in and actually bit Chopper. And so that's when it was like, nope, I've got to interrupt that behaviour. And then it turns the off-lead free time into a negative process.
So people are going to say, because they already have, things like, oh, well, maybe he just doesn't know how to play, all of those.
They are all of those reasons.
Yeah.
This is why he's getting that free time. He definitely doesn't know how to interact in an intense environment, which is why I'm not going to pick up that frisbee. So this is all part of that decompressing, learning process where, look, he was wanting to make relationships with dogs, but he just doesn't know how to do it if they're all running around crazy, excited. He's mistaking that, and, he's... the first couple of times he went into the flight response and just decided, I'm getting out of here. But then, he started to want to engage, but the lack of socialisation got the better of him and he engaged negatively.
So we just had a go at Freddie just
Yeah,
before.
so Freddie had a really good crack at it as well, which was really unexpected. And the difference between what he does and a normal dog is it was dead silent. I didn't even register for like half a second because there was no noise. But he jumped on the back of Freddie, and I thought, oh, is he playing? You know, and then I saw that he actually had a hold on him. So I was like, oh no, that's no good. So, and that was in the middle of playing the frisbee game before. So it's definitely something that we have to watch, we have to keep an eye on. It's something that I expected, but
so for everybody at home, because everyone's going to be like, obviously there's going to be differences and similarities between...
Job, mate. Look at him go.
He's definitely having a great time.
Yeah, he's loving it.
Between Cruiser and other dogs. But this is also very standard dog behaviour, isn't it?
Yes. It is. It's common dog
behaviour.
behaviour.
This is very standard for any dog that comes to the farm. This is how it works, isn't it? Mm-hmm. In terms of the intense situations.
Any dog that's had a background like him, which is no socialisation, no social skills, misinterpreting the situation, not registering that a high level of excitement is just play and has no malice intent in it. You see, even this, like that there, his hackles went up. I said, so even just that little bit of intense behaviour coming up the hill there was enough for him to switch back over to, you know, it's almost like crazy, where the hackles went up, he wasn't sure what to do, he went into a hunting mode and you could see him switch, which is where he's having his trouble. You know, not understanding that just a dog being excited and Cutie Pie just saying, hey Fredo, let me have a turn of that toy, is enough for him to misinterpret the situation and, you know, start to switch back into that.
Yep. So
association.
But it is the same as Chance and Roscoe.
Exactly the same.
There's no difference.
No, it's exactly the same behaviour as any dog that's come to the farm before with no socialisation. They all do the same thing. And then what we've got to minimise is that we know that he does have a little bit of a tendency to make contact. So that's why I'm not playing any games, because at this stage I don't want to interrupt anything negatively. I don't want a negative experience. I don't want to have to correct him at all. I want this free time and play to be just socialisation, just all positive, and him associate being out with the rest of the dogs as nothing but happy and fun. If I start to engage and try to correct any of that behaviour too early, which is my and his relationship is at its infant stage at the moment, then it could damage that. So that's why I don't want to play these games with the dogs at the moment, because I just want it all to be smooth sailing. Obviously down the track, that is definitely something that I've got written in my little notepad in my head. Righto, Cruiser, intense activities, we need to focus on. But it needs to be at a time where he's going to accept, you know, my verbal commands and take them on, rather than go into the flight response and think, oh no, the pack's after me. Because even just before, when I let him go, and I said, come on guys, let's go, and the pack all ran in the general direction, you could see the tail go straight under his leg, and he went into like, they're after me, you know. And so we don't want him to keep confusing these scenarios. So let him observe, let him learn, let him build those social skills, and then we can start to attack the bad behaviour at a later date. No more games. Come on guys, let's go for a walk. Even just walking around and having him so close to the pack is a really positive sign. You know, if he was hitting the fence lines and up one other end like that. We've also had that when dogs come to the farm before. They're just like way up in the corner, want nothing to do with the pack, and it's a long road to bring those dogs in. This guy, he's getting a kick out of being around the other dogs. He's getting a kick out of saying hello. You know, this is definitely the first time he's been around a pack of dogs that are all friendly. He's never experienced this before. And that's usually the first thing that they discover, and then they start to relax. Let's go. No need for that. Come on, guys.
The only time he goes away from the pack is to go to the toilet.
Yeah, it's the second one, so he must have been holding onto it. We'll just do this and they should be fine. Okay. Well done, mate. Good job, buddy. Good boy. That's good. You usually let me come up and pat him if he's got the lead drag like that, so that's a good sign. That's what I mean. He's only been here a short time and he's already showing good signs of improvement.
So Dylan just came into the yard and
Dropped off
he
Diesel.
got spooked.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean. See, he gets weird around staff. He did the same thing this morning. He did the same thing with Amro. Anything new.
Anything, yeah.
Anything new, anything that's not routine, anything that he deems as strange. But one of the positive things was, because the first time he did it, he's just all over the place. He hits the end of the lead, he goes up in his back legs, he looks for a way out. It's another thing I've noticed that is unique to him, being a dingo, than most other dogs, is when they're at the end of the lead, and let's say they go into a panic, let's say they've got an anxiety or fear over cars on bikes or skateboards, a dog typically will go to the end of the lead, turn and hit another angle, go to the end of the lead and just keep sort of bouncing ping pong style at the end of the lead. And then eventually we'll just go, I'm stressed, you know, but I can't get out, and sort of give up. But what's very interesting about Cruiser is he looks 3D. Like, so the dog that I just explained, he's doing a two-dimensional angle. He's like, what angle can I run to get out? Whereas he looks down, he looks up, he spins around, he looks for any option, which is unique. I haven't seen many dogs do that. I can't think of any, and he does it quite regularly. So his ability to problem solve seems to be much more advanced. I thought that was a unique scenario. See, the ranger comes out and he creates distance and he's watching the ranger. So same thing. I did this yesterday with him and made him do a training exercise up against the fence when Dylan went up and down on the ranger. And this is what I was going to say this morning about this morning's training, but I got distracted with the three-dimensional searching for options. So previously he would do that, he would shoot to the end of the lead, he'd want to get away when either Dylan or the ranger or something new would present itself, and then he would start, looking for options. How do I get out of here? Do I go up? Do I go down? Do I go this way? Do I chew through the lead? All these things were going in a matter of milliseconds going through his head, and he's attempting to see which one would work. Now, for the first time this morning, he ducked behind me and would peek out from behind me to watch. And so that was a really good sign. It means I'm starting to show him that I'm a layer of protection, which is a very good indication that we're making progress with our relationship. I've just bent down and sat here like this, and he kept going from this side to that side, just watching Dylan. Anytime Dylan came in and out of the rooms when he was cleaning the rooms. And hold on. Hey, Chris. Boy, well done. Good boy. Look at you. Good job, mate. Well done. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, good boy, mate. Oh, and you're even giving me a sit. Good job. Good boy. Look at you. Good boy. Well done. He's still worried about that ranger. Matilda, let's make you a videographer. Good girl. Good girl. What do you reckon about this, Cruiser? Are you going to put one of these on? He will wig out.
Let's work up to that.
Yeah. Tilly. It's unnecessary noise. See how the ranger's coming? He's standing by me?
Yeah.
Really good. Good boy, mate. Good boy. Good boy, Cruiser. Good boy, mate. Matilda. Good girl. Good girl. There you go.
Good job.
Come on. Abra. Good girl, darling. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. Abra, free. Good job. Free, good girl. Hi. 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 No matter who I say free to, Joey always comes up and goes, yeah.
She loves celebrating a free,
Yeah.
no matter whose free it is.
Yeah. Good boy, mate. Good boy. Yeah, well done. Good boy.
This is great, isn't it?
That's what I was saying this morning. Was the first time I've seen him do it, and this is all part of that bonding, where he's starting to feel more comfortable in my presence and feel like I said, I'm a layer of protection to whatever he feels nervous about. Now he's run off and started playing with the dogs again. It's good. Tail up in the air. It's head in again.
Say that again.
The ranger is crept into view again now. Cruiser, over this way, buddy. Good boy, mate. Hopefully he comes all the way. Good boy, buddy. You're right. Good job. Well done. This way. Look. Good boy, mate. Good boy. Oh, there you go. Good boy. There you go. Good boy, buddy. Good boy. Yeah, well done. Well done. Hello, Hope. Hello. Hello, beautiful girl. Hi. Hi. Hello. Hello. Oh, dear. Hello. Hi. Hi. I wasn't watching. I was just watching Cruiser and seeing his behaviour, and I looked down and it's Hope in my arms. I thought it was Maggie. I got a bit of a surprise. Hello, mate. Good girl, buddy. Oh, I got a surprise, darling. You don't usually want smothering cuddles.
It's just more of a recent thing. She wants lots and lots and lots of smothering cuddles.
Yeah, usually smothering is a bit too much. She likes the pats.
No, but she wants
But
it
now-
intensely now.
Yeah, now she just wants like love me.
I know.
Like we have done for ages. It's just you didn't want it. But I'm glad you want it now. Hey? I'm glad you want it now. Good dear.
She wants it really intensely now.
Yeah. Totally making up for lost time.
Yeah.
Isn't she? What's this thing called? Love. I love it.
It gives her like, she's almost a bit jittery like Rosie, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And it gives her this little boost of confidence.
And she's also really intense as well.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Good boy, mate. She's also really intense as well. Which, Matilda, come here, darling. Good girl. Let me fix that up for you. Good girl. Good job. Good. Hello. Hey there. Hey there. Hello, Rosie. Okay, hold on, girls. Hold on, girls. Oh, Rosie.
They're such sisters.
Aren't they?
They're like, oh, that one's getting attention.
Yeah.
I need it too.
All really good stuff, mate. What are we talking about before we cut off? Dude, how can you keep going off like that?
She's too little.
You're too little. You're too little. Oh, hello,
Good girl, good girl, good girl.
yeah, it's nice and full. Oh, Matilda, you got it again. You got it again. Here you go. Oh, good. That's away a little bit too quick. No choice. Come on, we got to walk. Shadow just over there, just chewing up the frisbee to herself. Abra. Abra. Good girl. Good girl. Well done. Good job. No, cut it out. Come on guys, this way.
Shadow told him how to do it.
Yeah.
So beautiful, Rover boy. Hello, mate. How are you? Hello, my beautiful girl. Hello, my beautiful girl. You're so beautiful. Oh, you're a beautiful boy, Banjo boy. You're a beautiful too. Yes. Good boy. Boy, mate. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, you're a good girl. Yes, you are.
Doing really well, mate. Good job, buddy. Oh, Lily. Oh, Lily. Oh, Lily. I find Lily does the same. Where are you?
Yeah.
I find Lily does the same where, like, he has that real serious, you know, I'm in charge, I'm boss.
Well, she does at the moment, does she? She
Yeah.
never used to.
I know, but then when you know, just give her some love and just like, no,
Yeah.
forget about that, let's just have a bit of a play, she gets real giddy. You know,
Yeah.
she gets and pushes everyone out of the way. It's like, it's my time for pets. The other two dogs that are focused at the moment as far as training goes, obviously Abra and Diesel. So I'll give you a quick update on where they're at. Obviously with Cruiser here, we really want to make sure he gets as much socialisation as possible. So that means no intense activities or less intense activities. But that's a good thing for Diesel because it means that he also gets to have a lot more time with the pack because he's going through a very similar stage as Cruiser is in the fact that he's not socialised well, in my opinion, not well enough, and he's learning to deal with his intense reactions when the dogs go when they raise their intensity. So he's almost identical in his behaviour around the packs when they raise the intensity as Cruiser is. He comes in, he wants to nip, and that is purely, you know, I want a herd and nobody's responding to me, so I'm increasing and I'm coming in and going to take some cheap shots. So in the tent stuff, we usually leave him out because of that. But now we've done a little bit more focused training on him and getting the obedience going. He's actually really, really good with the obedience. He is very impressive when he's doing the on-lead training. And so now we're transferring that to the off-lead. And so he's getting a little bit more guidance in, the pack, because he's at a very similar level to Cruiser. So I'm happy with how he's going. He's also showing a lot more affection. Like, he really is showing he wants to come up and get a pat. He wants to come over and sit by you. He doesn't want to just go off in the distance anymore. When the birds are around, still same story. He wants to go chase birds, but he is way more affectionate and wants your contact than he did before, way more. And then we've got Abra. You. Look at her, she's like, yeah, me. She is just inherently very mouthy and displaying some pretty antisocial behaviours, which in her opinion is just all downright fun. And so this is where we're trying to curb that behaviour and say that, yes, okay, you might think this is fun, but this is not allowed. So we're trying to balance her training, because a dog like her, it can very easily turn into lots of negative interactions. And that's something that we want to avoid. And I think people have already commented on it. How many times do you say Abra, Abra, Abra in a day? And it's into the hundreds. But that's something that you need to be mindful of. You need to balance that with positive. And so you want to do little activities here and there just to give her that positive love and affection, and then release her back into it, because she's going to do 5 things wrong in the next 20 minutes. And it's just simply a case of consistently trying to attack 1 or 2 of those 5 things at a time. You don't want to just saying no to her for everything under the sun, because she'll just be like, I don't like you anymore. What we had going is no good. So you got to protect the relationship and balance it out. And so for her, having a less intense activity is much better, because she doesn't get herself in trouble and she just goes and chews a stick or does something like this. Rather than every single time we throw a ball, she would pick a dog to go and hassle and bark at, which is antisocial.
And bites.
Yeah, and for her it's just fun.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, who am I going to pick on now? You. So this is just a stage for her. This isn't really rehab or anything like that. For her, it's just a learning curve. She just knows, I'm fast, I like to use my mouth, this is fun, using it on you guys. This is just a learning curve for her, saying, no, we don't do that here. And so slowly she's picking it up. And now I'm seeing her run alongside the dogs, bark, and then where she would usually try to mouth, and she just slightly hesitates and looks around. And if I see that, I give her so much praise, because she had that forethought and that strength to just resist that very tasty hind quarter running past her, So those are the kind of things that we're looking for to reward and to balance out that interaction.
So it does, though, paint a good picture of like how much work a dog like Abra requires. Because if she's not here for rehab, and she is, she's here for guidance through...
Yeah, so training and rehab are 2 different things. And I just suppose maybe we'll talk about that. So rehab is a dog has already learnt behaviours and adopted them into their personality, and those behaviours need to be broken down and reshaped and reformed. So that's what rehab does. That's why it takes so long, because a dog like Chance, for example, who is used to using his strengths, which are physical, and then teach him not to use those are things that are not welcome here. That takes a long time to break down, because just like when I left the military and I had a skill set of gunfighting and tactical warfare, you go out into the civilian world and be like, I'm useless out here with these skills. Like, there is no place for these skills here. And so you need to, you know, go through a self-development process to identify these are no longer useful to me. I need to drop these and develop new skills. That's what rehab is. For Abra, it's just training. She hasn't developed those behaviors and put them in her personality yet. She's still forming her personality, and she'll still continue to do that up until around 18 months to 2 years old. So there's a lot of behaviors that will creep in, and if they have an effect that she likes, she adopts them and starts to use them more frequently. And so this is why we're curbing the behavior. We're not rehabbing her. And that's why we talk about when I see that interaction she's having, all I want to do is stop her from making contact, and then she'll realize, okay, I can run along and bark and compete, but I can't make contact. And then the development will continue on, and there'll probably be something else that comes in later that we focus on that. So long as she has those rules and we set those guidelines for her, she will develop nicely. But it's not a case of, you know, teaching her to forget something that is an ingrained part of her. That's a difference.
Oh, this is awesome though. Look at that.
Yeah. There you go. One for you. One for you. Pat for you. Okay.
Hey, buddy.
There you go.
Thank you. He does kind of like hanging out with us.
Yeah, it's good.
It's great.
Hey, mate. Good boy.
Aww.
Good boy. Good boy. He does like Freddo. But I just wonder if it's going to turn into one of those things like it did with Freddie. Because he showed this like to Freddie at the beginning. But then, I don't know, maybe Freddie burnt his bridges with him.
I don't know.
Bulldozed in himself.
We'll have to see how it develops, I guess.
Hello, Mr. Chop. Hello, Mr. Chop Chop. You're so beautiful. Oh, Mr. Chopper. Hi, buddy. Yeah, this is really good.
It's good though that he's choosing to be around us in the pack.
Yeah. Yeah, it is really good.
For everyone at home, he could
mate.
just choose to scale that fence.
Yeah. And this is the main reason why we're wanting to build that relationship first, because just like Roscoe, who could easily scale this fence, he would only scale it to get to me. He doesn't want to leave the property. He values, you know, his life here, and so Cruiser's in the same boat. Cruiser doesn't know he can jump that yet. We're hoping to extend out that discovery as long as we can.
Yeah.
It won't take long though. As soon as he sees Roscoe do it, he's like, oh, let me try. He's way more capable than what Roscoe is. So yeah, we're just minimising that, building the relationship as quick as we can, and then the plan will be that he just doesn't want to go anywhere.
But behind the scenes, we do have our fencing company come out to do a quote.
Yeah, we're booked in to do some add-ons to the fence to potentially prevent it happening if he chooses to.
Yeah.
But we're a couple of months out from that. They're always really busy because they're quite good, and it is usually going to be, you know, a 3 or 4 week process to put the fencing in, and likely going to be pretty pricey at the same time. So, you know, in a perfect world, by that stage, we would just be completely at home, not a problem in the world. Let's save ourselves 80 grand and not put it in. Good job, mate.
But, you know, you don't know, so we've got to...
So at this stage, we're planning for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that we're going to break through and won't be required.
And he's showing a lot of promise.
He is.
Which is awesome.
Guarantee of promise.
So I think...
Before you go on, I need to remind Dylan.
Okay. You get it, Til Til. You get it, Til Til. think that's what it is. It's where he's looking.
I was just quickly sending Dylan a text for the lunch order. I looked down for, wouldn't be more than 5 minutes. And then, you know, quickly look up and he's running the fence line 200 metres away. And that's when straight away I was like, what's happened? What's changed? And it's something as simple as, you know, someone coming down the driveway, getting in a car and moving, it's enough for him to spook. You know, and usually I'd see that when he's on lead because he'd just start darting and dancing around, and then I'd be like, what's going on? And you look up and Dylan must be, that's about 150 metres from where we are. And that's how hypersensitive he is to anything new, anything different, anything that is assessed by him as a potential threat. And anything new, anything strange for a wild animal is a potential threat because it's not part of their environment. So that's why they are so nervous and so weary, and that's what's...
And we weren't moving, so he decided he'd
He
move.
just bugged out. But what I probably would have happened, but I didn't see because I was sending a text, is he would have come to me and I didn't give him anything. And then so he's going, righto,
Look after myself.
Going into flight. Good boy, mate. So every time he comes up to me, this is what I'm doing. Good boy. He's looking at me, he's looking for reassurance, whatever he wants, I'm just giving it to him. You know, he's not in a panic, but I'm just reminding him that this is a safe place here next to me. So he may have done that, and I'm thinking about what everyone wants for lunch and typing it onto him, and he's probably not got that reassurance and then just decided I'm going into flight. Because he definitely was in flight. Like he was, you know, what I just saw there is exactly what you would see when you come across a fox by accident. You know, they'll see you, they'll turn and run, and they'll run, you know, 50 metres, then they'll stop, turn and look, and then they'll turn and run again. And that's what he was doing up the fence line. And so something had spooked him. All the dogs were lying down like they are here. They were just chilling out, nothing was going on, and the only change was obviously...
So you just called the pack.
Yeah, so I just said,
move.
righto, we got to start moving now. And then so all I did was like, righto guys, let's go. And I started walking away from him. Because if I pointed them towards him, it would have just amplified his nervous energy and gone, whoa, they're after me, you know? So, and then as soon as he saw we were on the move and he heard my call, he came running. Hey bro, it's not a time to be hustling PewDiePie. Okay, it's not a time to be hustling the pie. Alright? Oh, so cute. Ooh. Ooh. Don't bite my face. Don't bite my face. I'm giving you cuddles. Hello, darling. Ooh. Oh, listen here, Mr. Sheriff.
I don't know how this is going to go though, this whole situation with Cruiser. Might be a bit too much.
Might be. She wants some cheese. She wants some cheese. Come on. Come on. Okay, you don't have to jump on the back of me. Good boy, mate. Let's go. This way. Joey.
Hello, Teal. Hello, Teal. Don't jump on Tilly's back. Hang on.
Yeah, you got a bit too close. He does some springy zoomies there, Cruiser.
Yeah, you've got to get used to Roscoe.
Chopper. Good boy, mate. Good boy. You keep your opportunistic mounting out of it. Good boy, Chopper. Good boy. Buddy. Thanks, buddy. No. Wait. Over there. Let's go, you like.
Rover and Roscoe. Lily. That's always telling him.
Dingo. Yeah, what were you going to say?
So back when we were talking about Abra
Yep.
and the rehab versus training,
Yep.
it does make me think what people will be wondering, and that is, well then that kind of training, when would that end?
For Abra?
Yeah.
It doesn't. Just like these guys all get continuous guidance. So it's all about going through something for the first time, or the first handful of times, and help shape what their reaction should be. These guys all do it the same way. So for example, Fredo, when we get someone turn up at our gate, he goes down and reacts a certain way and either reward or interrupt the behaviour. So they're just learning. Haven't seen this before. What do I do here? I'm going to do this, and it's either yes or no. You can help guide, but basically that kind of training never ends with any dog.
So there's not a point of graduation for Abra.
No, there's the basic stuff that helps you get to a point where you can just clearly communicate effectively with your dog. But once you've got that, it's forever. You're just constantly helping shape the behaviour of your dog. For Abra, it will be consistent throughout a whole life.
So somebody taking on Abra or a dog like Abra,
people need to be continuously working with her. So Abra's not a dog that you're just going to get to a certain point and then just go, okay, you're trained now, I'm going to leave you in the backyard and go to work. That's not going to work. She will just become the dog that we all fear would happen in the wrong hands. So it's constant. She wants to be with you, doing new things, experiencing things, and taking your guidance along the way. And that's why they're so good at being professional working dogs. They want to go into a new environment and just go, yep, what are we doing? And they're looking for you for guidance, like, okay, in protection work, it's going to be sending her in on someone she's never seen before to, inflict a bite. For a dog like her, she wants that constant, I'm getting up at sunrise and we're going to work today. What are we doing today? What are we doing? Let's go. She's not a dog like...
and that's what she does.
Yeah.
She gets up and she just hangs at that door waiting for you to walk out with her.
Exactly. Him, what guidance does Chop need to get some rest? None. He's like, I just lay in the grass here, might do some sun tanning. But Abra, where is she? She's up in the dam running around looking for something to chew on, I think. I saw her just disappear over the hill.
Yeah.
You know, that's the kind of difference in the dog behaviour we're talking about. There you go. Cruiser just got told off by Fredo.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of, because I think people are waiting for, you know, is Abra trained yet? And for those that understand Malinois and, you know, those types of breeds will understand that it's a...
Is Abra trained yet? Someone asked that question?
Someone has genuinely asked that question.
She's 4.5 months old.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be from people that don't have any experience, obviously.
But even any dog.
And it's I know, and hey, it's a genuine question from someone who doesn't understand.
Fair enough. But any dog at that young age, they would only be exposed to such a small amount of what they have to know. So
I think maybe they're looking at it and they are thinking like in the frame of mind of the dogs that come in for rehab.
Lily.
You know, and then we say, oh, this dog is ready now for adoption. So maybe it's a very good point to say that Abra's not going to fall into that category. We're not going to get to a point where we say training has stopped, she's graduated, she's ready, you know, for whatever.
Abra's going to fall into the same category as Chance. So it's like, I got them to a certain point and then you continue on from there.
Yeah.
It's not
But the workload for a dog like Chance and a dog like Abra is
totally different.
Is, you know, but it's also a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah. It's comfortable. Hey, I need to dig there, mate.
Anyway.
Nothing in there.
Go, buddy, go! Woohoo!
Go for a swim, mate. Good job. Good boy. Good boy, mate. Been tearing down that hill, didn't he?
He did. I am assuming that most people understand the workload required for these type of dogs. Just like
even still, like any dog still requires maintenance training where you achieve a certain standard, and then you want to keep making sure that they match and maintain that standard throughout their life. And you will see that, you know, there'll be a period of your life being a little bit crazy and you haven't put as much time into the dog for a couple of weeks, and then you go out and do something that you've always done, and all of a sudden they do a few things wrong and you're like, oh, what's going on? We've learnt this before, why are we doing this? And it's because, okay, well, I've been given freedom for however long, so I'm going to test my freedom. So then you go back to, no, these are the rules, this is what we're doing. They go, okay, no worries, and you're good. But that happens throughout their life. Usually, let's call an average dog. I'm not going to say what an average dog is, but let's say in the training world, you got an average scenario, right? So you train your dog intensely for the first couple of months, where you're doing every day, you're doing training, you're teaching them to sit, teaching them to drop, teaching them distraction training, teaching them duration training, you're doing boundaries, you're doing manners, all of it, all the way through for the first couple of months. They nail it all and they're really good at it. So then you might only do training once every 3 days, and the other 2 days are just living your life with a dog that is perfectly behaved. But on the third day, you're like, okay, we're going to make sure we remember this. And you'll see that they only slip slightly, but you touch it up on those training sessions. After about 18 months, that might last 2 months going between those touch-up sessions. And then by the time they hit 3 or 4, you know, it might be 4 months between sessions. And then you only really start to do it after that when you see the performance slip. And it only takes 5 or 10 minutes for them to remember, okay, these are the rules, okay, no worries. And then we're good for another couple of months. That's the average for training, because every day in your interactions with them, you are using those commands that we trained. And so you're maintaining a certain standard just from your daily interactions with them without going into a formal training setting. Now, with Abra, she wants to be worked every single day. So she wants to have jobs to do and be told to do things every single day. So if you go that period of, I'm not talking to you, we're just going to the dog park, we're not doing anything, we're not doing training, she will just start losing her mind going, I need something to do. And she'll find something for herself to do, and it's usually going to be destructive. So that's the difference between her and the average pet. She wants to turn up to work. She will be eager, 7 a.m, sitting there. I got my uniform on. Give me a job to do. We're going to work today. And you're like, it's Sunday. It's raining. I'm having my crumpet. I'm not going anywhere. And she's like, fine. I'll find a job. And then you'll finish your cup of tea and walk outside, and there'll be a big hole in the backyard. You're like, why? Because you didn't give me a job to do. I found one. This is fun. Check this out. That's the kind of dog she is.
Forever.
Forever. Forever. It's very common, especially this kind of working breed, it's very common for them to do some, let's say they're doing bite work, they're doing protection work, and they get the bite suit out and they're doing some stuff. It's very common for them to be sitting there waiting for their turn, and they go out, they get a couple of bites, and then they get put back to wherever they are going, wherever they're held, and they tear to bits whatever is within range, because they're like, I want another bite, give me another job to do, I haven't done enough, you know. Even when I was up at Will's place, he was telling me a story how he did a demo with Googe, and they did a bite and he put him back in the car, and then literally 5 minutes later he destroyed the seat in the car, like just ripped the headrest to pieces. Let me out, you know, let me go again. We're not dealing with the average Joe run-of-the-mill dogs here.
Rover.
It's hard to, you got to remind yourself what Rover was like, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Listen, Missy, those two are a bit too big for you. A bit too big. Okay. Oh, yes, thank you.
He's very interested when you pick a dog up.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Probably never seen it before. How are you, mate? Now he's looking at her going, what's going on with you? How come you get that? Because she's little. Oh, Mr. Banjo, you're not so little. I can't pick you up. I can't pick you up. He's heavy.
Roscoe, get down, buddy. Still a big baby. You're still a big baby, buddy boy.
Fredo's wasting.
Roscoe.
Hey. Fredo's wasting no time establishing his position with Silver. Giving him the big don't argue. Get out of my face.
Wally used to do it too.
Yeah.
He's getting older, Fredo, and so he has to pull that card.
Yeah.
You know,
The tolerance
establish the.
far less for any. Hello, mate. For any incompetence or tomfoolery. Hey, buddy. Hey, mate. What you found there, Chop Chop? Oh, sorry, thank you, boy. What you found there, thank you, boy. Oh, you found. Oh, my good boy. Oh,
What happened?
there was a wasp nest in here somewhere the other day.
Oh, a real big one?
Yeah.
Yeah, they ate it.
Who ate it?
It was over there. They were eating it while we were talking before.
Who was eating it?
It was like this big.
Yeah, massive one.
The dogs?
The dogs were eating it?
Mm.
Because I...
There, is that it over there?
Well, this is a wasp. This is one of the wasps. Over where?
Just see that thing there, that chunky bit there?
Nah, can't possibly be that big.
Oh, well, the one they had was enormous.
Anyway, these are the wasps looking for it. But I put Wolfie on here and he climbed up.
Yeah.
And then literally hundreds of these wasps just started swarming. I was like, ah, Wolfie! I like dived in the outside, grabbed him, and like just ran all the way up to the tunnel. Because they were literally surrounding him, about to just...
That looks like it there. It is very big.
You there? Hey, mate.
The expo.
Joey, cut it out.
Buddy.
No.
Cruz is just behind you there.
Oh, I don't want it. I don't want it. Good shot. So the plan is just to go for a little bit of a stroll, and hopefully Cruiser comes over to me. I can just give him a pat and grab the lead and walk out. So what I don't want to do is go up to the gate and create a choke point, and then him be suspicious of the choke point. So once I've got him on lead, then we'll just casually walk over to the gate again. But I'm just waiting until he decides he wants to come over to me. Give him a pat as we have been doing, and then we can leave. So it could take 10 minutes, could take 2 minutes, I don't know. But this is a very important part of, you know, keeping it positive and not ruining that free time. He's already got a bit of a sense of, you know, with his previous owner, he made it very difficult to come back and be caught again. So this is where we want to make sure that it's nice and casual and all positive. I don't want him to feel like I'm after you. You know, he definitely doesn't have the training to do the recall to say come back to me. But let's see how we go. Come on, guys, let's go. Good boy, buddy. Good boy. How are you? Yeah. Good boy, man. Good boy.
Well, that was a lot easier.
That was good. Nice Nice and easy, nice and calm.
than it could have been.
I do think a lot of it has to do with as soon as I go down like that, all the other dogs want to come and get affection from me.
Mm.
And so he's using the trust in the other dogs just like Hope and Faith did. So it's always handy to have 25 helpers.
Just a couple of dingoes.
Yeah, they could be brothers.
Buddy. Want some chicken?
Thighs are definitely my go-to. Yeah, agreed.
They took two.
Yeah, this is the best piece ever, and he believed it.
Good boy. Really gentle.
Oh, good girl, darling.
Caruza, another piece, buddy. Oh, don't like the look of that. He's very gentle before. All of a sudden he's like, rice chicken. Put it in my mouth. This is what we do in a pack, mate. We catch it.
Good job, buddy.
Good job. Fredo. Matilda. Cruiser. Yeah, he's done that before. Joey. Leave it on the bench in the garage. Good boy, Cruiser. Ready to come back and have some chicken now, mate? Chop. Cruiser. Ready. Rosie. Oh. Rosie. Oh.
Oh, Rosie.
Rosie. Barney. Where are you?
Behind you.
Oh, you got some competition here, bro. Rosie. Shadow. Where is that? Oh, he's good. Goodbye. Hup. Billy. Ready. Yeah.
It's like his little den in there.
Yeah. Who's that? Lovely chicken, mate. Yeah, good boy. Matilda. Rover. Bone, that's it. Get rid of that bone. And there's the lilac. Yeah, I think so.
If it isn't there, it's on the table now.
Yeah.
They're just sleeping like, oh, it's got to come
Yeah.
It's not a Valentine's meal.
Unless you're both in Hello. Oh, hello, Miss Shadow. Hello, Miss Shadow. Oh, oh, yes. Hello. Hello. This is what she wants, just. Oh, Joey also wants them. Oh, Shadow, you're so beautiful. Oh, you're so beautiful. Good girls. Good girls. Yeah, good girls. Oh, yes. Get a staffy if you want them to invade your personal space. I love it. They want to be right up in there, don't you? Huh? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good job. Good job. The brothers do it too, don't they? Let me sit on your lap and lick you on the nose.
Lick your inner nostril.
Yeah. Get right in there. Oh, hello, darling. You can't smother her too much. She just absorbs it. You know, like even Roscoe, you smother him too much and he wants to pull away and jump back and play. But Shadow's just like, yes, squeeze me. Oh, squeeze my
likes
face.
Kisses on the mouth, like she just wants it all.
Oh, give it to me.
That's my arm, Roscoe.
He grabbed you, did he?
It was very soft,
Ooh.
but still.
Ooh. So even he wants to wriggle out of it, but not Miss Shadow. Oh, she wants cuddles and she wants to absorb them. Look at her tongue coming out like that's what I want. It's exactly what I want. Don't you? Oh, yes.
Look at Chubby.
Yeah. He's like, is there any more roast chicken up there? You go give him their lunch. Oh. You shouldn't take his head off the chest. Hello, Miss Reed. Oh, hello. Excuse me. We're gonna have a nice little afternoon cuddles in the sun, alright? Just relax. Relax. Not in his vocabulary. Unless it's 11 o'clock at night on the couch.
Then he's upside down. Or 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, everyone's out going to the toilet and he's like, nah, yeah. You don't come out till later, do you? You big sleepy head. Oh, you big sleepy head. Oh, yeah, boy. Hello, mate. Hello.
Buddy. Good boy. So Cruz is doing really well.
Yeah. Yes, he's doing well. He's about to come up and say hello.
Oh my goodness, hello. Hello, buddy.
Yeah, you got a lick.
That was nice.
Good job.
Thank you.
I felt privileged the first time he gave me a lick.
Yeah, that's definitely the first time I ever got that.
I didn't even look over there. But who ripped up that Turk?
I don't know. Not sure.
To be honest, I think my money would be on.
You.
Have you seen what he does to every single bed we put in his room? One bed becomes 100
Yeah.
every night. Every night, doesn't it?
You might be trying to make it dead.
Maybe, but it's good body language. Good close. Hang out.
Good boy, buddy. What a good boy. What a good boy. Oh, there, Bobby. Watch out for the chicken.
Oh, Mr. Rover boy. Oh, gotcha. Oh. Oh, you want to play too? Oh, you want to play too?